All right, there we go. So firstly, we'd love to understand class. So class is basically you define a group, right? Okay, so like a cat, or a dog. So what you could do is class, for instance, a cat, right? And you can define the properties such as maybe name, because a cat should have a name, right? And the age can be integer, right? Okay. And what else? Probably color, right? Okay, and the colors, I guess we can simply use a string, right? Okay, or something else. And then what we could do, maybe breed, right? Okay, so breed, for now, we just use these. And then we can use initializer to initialize it. And for instance, like that. And we can also have the what? We can also have the method, right? So this one can be getter, right? Method's a getter. So the getter, we can do what? So, and we can also have the setter, right? So setter, okay, setter. And then this one is going to be this. So this is something you'll be learning in APCSA for sure. And then getter, I guess we're going to get getter is supposed to be return something, right? So I guess I'll just return to maybe integer here. And what kind of things I want to get. So probably I'm going to get age because this one returns integer, right? Okay. So then I'm going to return something here. And what actually I'm going to return, it is basically return. I guess I need to pass self period that is going to be age, right? Okay, there we go. Setter is like what we want to set. That's something we want to modify. This one, I guess I'll just put this one here. For this one, I guess what we need to set is probably we need to like set the age, right? Okay, so then I'll just return that you can set age, right? So and then I need to pass a number here, so that is going to be I'll just put a here and the integer right here, and then I'm able to turn self period age by a. All right, okay. So actually this age, most likely we want to use the same name here, right? Age to age. But this age is a parameter. And this age is actually the class of properties here, right? Okay. And then whenever you do that, you create a class here, right? So class is like, well, you defined a class or a category, right? Okay. And for a higher or a more complex design, so bread must be different a certain type, right? And usually you don't want to use a string data type, right? Okay, so it can be an enumeration or it can be another class, right? Okay, and the color can also be a different uh property. So usually it's going to be UI color, right? Okay. UI color is a class as well. So therefore, this one is going to be UI color, right? I need to modify that as well. Okay. And you can also define maybe a breed, right? Okay, a breed, right? Okay. And this one you can probably maybe like a Western bread, or this one is going to be Eastern bread something. Well, you can use that for sure. So this one's the breed, right? Okay. And then you also need to, this one can be a string for sure. This one can also be a string for sure, right? Okay. And then you definitely you need to initialize it. And later on you can modify this one by breed, right? Okay, different breed here. Well, this is how would you design a a real world scope, well, at least the real world scope stuff, right? Okay, because you need to define a specific data type, right? So this is basically how you do it. And then I'll just put a question mark here, right? Okay, good. So and then whenever you understand that, okay, you probably can turn that into player, right? Okay, and so like when you play a game, right? A video game has a player. Then you can define the players and properties just like that, right? Okay, so yeah, cat is a bit easier way to demonstrate that, right? Okay, good. So and then in the class right here, you can create your own player, right? Or your own cat. So cat, then you can cast it by the cat, right? By that. And whenever you initialize it, right, definitely you can definitely initialize it, right? So for example, this is a cat is going to be what kind of name and that and this right here. But if you don't want to actually initialize it, this is okay. And you could also have an empty initializer, or you can have a partial initializer. So suppose you just want to initialize its name, and this is how you do it, right? Okay, and then right here, wait a second. So this is empty, right? So name, and this is going to be a string, right? And then you can simply just self period the name, and you just pass the name into, right? So this is all good. So yeah, then you can simply initialize it by maybe just a cat, right? Okay, that is good. Okay, there we go. And whenever you have these, so right here, we call this like override func, or you could definitely consider it as the main entry. So it will upload all the code to the main entries here, to the simulator. And then you can print the CAT, and access is a property. So for instance, if you access is age, I guess it's going to be nil. Why? It is because we didn't actually initialize it, right? So then
Oh,
let's
is it like a dictionary
a it's a
in
class
Python?
in Python. Not
Like
like
a Python dictionary?
not like a dictionary. Dictionary is a data type, right? So dictionary is a
But like
data.
it acts like a dictionary.
Yeah, it access like a dictionary. Yes. Okay. So class is how to say it? Class is object, right? It's an object. Um, class class is a you can see it's a blueprint, that design a model, right? Design it's a blueprint that design the system, right? Design the system. Okay. So this is the class, and this is what? So this is an instance. So this is the class instance or object. So it's like because I can definitely create a multiple cat here, right? So this is my cat too, and I can call that a cat too, right? But every times I do not declare this again. I can use it again, 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 again. And you can imagine I can create maybe millions of cats like that, right? It's like a DNA. I would say probably a class is like a DNA. You design the DNA, and later on you just copy it, right? And then it will do the job for you. So logically speaking, it's just like this. Dictionary Dictionary is a totally different stuff. Dictionary is a data type. And class can be in the dictionary, actually, can be in the dictionary. So for instance, I can create like maybe a dict, right? So I can say maybe, all right, so for instance, this is my cat one, colon, and I can quote my cat inside, right? Okay, so that simply means, okay, I have so it simply means, okay, my cat one points to cat. I think I can use the lazy word to handle this in much better way. So this is consecutively. Uh, these one were dick consecutively must be separate. Wait a second. Oh, I don't think so. Let's do this here right here. This is my cat, right? Okay, so then let's say I have a var dictionary. And then I want this one to be probably A points to D, all right? And then, wait a second, it's a square bracket here, okay? And then I put cat here, okay? So this is a better way. So, and then I can put number B is going to be my cat2, right? Okay. So then I have a dictionary here. So this is a dictionary. This is a dictionary. And I can access the dictionary. So for instance, I can print the dictionary, and then I can access A, right? And then this one, then I have the name, right? So then run it. So I probably I'm going to have cat, right? CAT. Let's check it out. So yes, exactly right. So yeah, dictionary is a data structure. Class is a blueprint. Makes sense now, right? Alex, does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Uh, Class is very important. It is because it is object-oriented programming, which is OOP. I mean, right. Okay, so Python is OOP as well. Java is, JavaScript is as well. So yes. Okay. So, and then by doing so, you can create, for instance, I in range, no, not in range, is 0 to dots less than. You can, this is how do you make a for loop here. And then what you could do is you can have my cats, right? So for instance, right here, I'm going to put the var cats. Cats is going to be array of cats, all right, array of cats. And then this is array of cat with a constructor here. Well, be aware in Swift, let is the way to declare a constant, and var is the way to declare a variable. I guess this is pretty similar to JavaScript, right? So let and var to declare a variable. So which is very similar in JavaScript, right? You mentioned you learned JavaScript before, right?
Yeah, but like only a little bit. It's
Only a
like
little
not,
bit.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, JavaScript using let and var to declare variables as well. Okay. And then right here. So, and then as you can see right here, what I can do is cats period append. Yes, I guess append is you use the Python a lot. Append is way to insert the data, right? Right here, I'm going to have my cat equals cat. And then I'm going to simply just, well, the name. This is the way to interpolate here, all right? And I'll be adding this one here. And now let me run this code again. And in the same while, I can for item in cats, right? Okay. And I can print item here, period. I can access the name. And then let me run this code one more time. Then you'll be seeing, okay, so when this code finished, right, and this code will be executed, and then I'll be having all the data here. So that simply means I created 10, no, I created 10 cats just by using the for loop, right? So this, I guess this is how probably a video game company create NPC, right? Okay, so just use the object, right, and then keep copying it, and then it will finish the job, right? Okay, so it makes sense to you, right?
Uh,
All right,
yeah,
good. Okay,
like kind of, I guess.
okay, yeah, no worries. So yeah, since you don't have computer today, so we'll just go over this a bit quick, right? Good. So then this is the class, right? This is the class, okay. And in the class you can define a lot. And as you can see right here, these class, all right, the cat has no casting, so it is a general class. But you can also cast it as some subclass. And one of those is UI view controller. So what is a UI view controller? This is well, this is something like UI view controller, which is a view and you can control it, right? Okay. So, and where you can find the documentation. So this is a documentation. Well, this documentation is pretty boring, but sometimes we just need to go over it, right? The UI view controller class is a class defines the shared behavior that's a common to all view controllers. You rarely create instances of a UI view controller class directly. Instead, use subclass UI view controller and add the methods and the properties needed to manage the view controller's view hierarchy. The view controller's main responsibilities include the following here: updating the contents of the views, usually the response to changes to the underlying data, something here. So this is, well, a homework for you. Um, and all right, so and then all right, so let's see. The view is basically this bluish one, all right, the bluish stuff here. And I can change the background color into any color. So Alex, give me a color, any color you want.
Um, navy blue.
All right, so we need to have a navy blue, right? But unfortunately, we don't have the navy blue, so we have to build it from scratch here. So this is navy blue, all right? And this is going to be UI color, right?
Can you sell it like the RGB values and stuff?
Yes, we can definitely use that. Can you give me the navy blues RGB code, like the value? Do you have?
Val navy
Yeah, you
blue.
can. For this
That's
part, you can search it. Yes,
uh 000080.
that's a hex code. Do you have the RGB? So like there are supposed to be three different values.
I think if it's RGB, then that's 0 for the first one, 0 for the second one,
So this is
uh
0, right?
and then 128 for the last one.
120. Okay, so blue is 128 over 255, and the green is also 0, right? Okay. All right, let's give it a go. And I'll be just replacing this by the nav blue. All right, navy blue, right? So nav blue. And then let's give it a go. All right, so then we have a navy blue here, right? Okay. So as you can see, everything's customizable. You can basically modify and change anything. The only limitation is your imagination. I can tell you that. All right. Okay. And then you can define your own color. So like anything here. Makes sense, right? Okay. Then I'm going to change it into a white because it's a bit easier to demonstrate here. Next one is going to be UI element implementation. All right, so let's make a square. So I'll just call it a square, or I guess probably a box is a bit easier, right? So, and then it is going to be a UI view, and then I have this structure. Well, no worry for now. You probably need to go over this later. So I'll be showing you the result first, and then return IV here. And then IV period, you can definitely define is location, frame, and a step here. And then for instance, IV period background color, and you can modify that into the ones navy blue, right? Navy blue, there we go. The navy blue is here, right? Okay, navy blue. And you can also define is a layer, period, a corner radius. Therefore, you can have probably a rounded corner, and then layer, period, collapse. I'll just use this now. Okay, good. And then, all right, so this is considered to be a variable, right? So if I delete this part, okay, if I delete this part, okay, if I delete this part, this is just like this. This is just like the way, for instance, let A to be 12. It's just like that, right? Okay. But the thing is I can directly modify this one when I initialize it, right? So this is this. And I need to make a method, right? Method is a func. So usually I call that setup UI here. And then firstly, okay, so add the UI element into the view, right? So the code is view period add subview, and I'm going to add my box in, right? There we go. And then you can define the box location. So frame is the way to define its locations here. So whenever you open this, it's going to be a C0 rect. And you'll be seeing there is an X and Y width and height, right? So there are very mathematics. So you have X coordinates and the Y coordinates and the width. So I'm going to place it at a 20 and this is a 200. Width, I can tell you regular iPhone is a 400 points width. Height is about 700. So if I put a 300 here, height is going to be 40. So let's check it out, right? And then I also need to call method array. So this is pretty easy. You just call it arrays, call method. Okay, I guess this should be no problem for you. Okay. Right, then you have a bluish bar here, right? Okay. Um, and then right here, so what I can do is I can definitely change this into something maybe UI color period, um, red, right? Okay. And I can also have IB period of text. So, and yes, I'll do that later. So let's run this code one more time. And then I'll be having a red label here. Pretty straightforward, right? Yes, okay. And I can also change its location if I want. So for instance, I want to change that the y coordinates maybe into 600 here. It will just move down to the 600 away from the original point here, right? Okay. And I can also modify its width and height based on my design, based on my desire, right? Okay, good. So for this part, do you have any questions?
Uh, I mean, like, I understand, like, what you're doing, I guess. But, like, how do you
Okay.
make, like, buttons work and stuff?
So next one, all right. So UI element has a lot of subclasses. Next one is going to be button, right? So button is going to be called UI button. See, it's very human readable, right? Okay. So, but you have to memorize all the class names. So, and then you create an instance inside, right? And then return BT right away. And then BT, you may set some title here. So for instance, what you want to set probably is going to be sent, right? And then for these ones, it's going to be normal. Okay. And then you can also set the background color right away, right? Okay, so I'll just I'll just use maybe navy blue right away. And then what else? BT, I can also set a text color, set title color. So I'm going to use a UI color. I want this one to be white probably, and this one's going to be normal. And then next one, I'll be just using the same trick here. And then this one's the button, right? And this is a button, video button. And for the location, I can definitely just copy this, right? And then turn that into this one. All right, this one can be too general. I just call it a BT1, all right? Stands for button number one. And then button number one is a frame here. I'll be using probably this 200 here. Width, probably 200. Okay, height, maybe a bit larger. Let's run this code here, all right? Pretty straightforward. And that can have a button right here. So this button, we'll see. So it is a clickable, and I guess next thing what you want to do is make it work, right? So if you click it and do some trick, what do you think? Do you agree?
Uh,
Okay. So next step, I want this one to be useful. So to be useful, you got to use OBJC. That is OBJC method here. So you have to use a specific modifier, which is OBJC title. And then it's a regular function. Because a function is encapsulation, you can use it again, again, again. I'll just apply the handle BT1, all right? And I do need a parameter here, right? So the parameter itself is the sender period colon button, right? And then right here, so what do you want? Now is basically the imagine, it's basically the creative part. So if you can control the button, what do you really want, right? Okay. So now I guess, what if I say I want to modify this this red bars background color into a different color, right? So now let's do it. So remember we have a box, right? So we can access this background color and we can probably modify its color into a different color, right? So probably let's say, give me a color. If I press this button, what do you want this red bar background color changing to?
Um, I go to green maybe.
Like a green, okay. Color period green. All right, now let's see what is going on. But you have to do something like box BT1 period at target that is going to be solved, and this is a hashtag selector, and you are going to put the handle BT1 here. It's actually the same name here. And then this is going to be touch up inside. And let's run this code and let's see what is going on. And overall, it is going to be, if you press it, turns to green, right? Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right. And then, well, actually you can do a lot. So for instance, why don't we probably implement some algorithms here? So for instance, var CNT to be integer starts with a 0, right? I guess you know what I want to do here. So for instance, every time I call this method here, I want this one to increase by 1. And then I can do if CNT modulo by 2 equals to 0. And then this one is going to be green. And otherwise, I want my original color, I guess, probably. Because in the first time, it's going to be 0, right? Okay, so that's this. Okay, so I if I don't run the code, what would happen? I mean, if I run the code, what would happen?
Uh, like it wouldn't change.
It will do what?
It like wouldn't do anything.
Would it do anything if I implement this algorithm, this code?
Like until like you click it, it like won't do anything.
I mean, yes, if I click it, what would it do?
Oh, and then like after you click it, it'll go from green to like red.
Yes, it will switch it, right? Okay, it's like a disco ball, something, right? Good. Okay, there we go. So this is a very important technique is you do not test your code and then you know what is going to happen, right? So then it's exactly this. This is basically the mobile app or system design, right? Okay. So sometimes you do not test your code because you can read it, right? Okay, there we go. Good. All right. So this is going to be this is going to be the button handlers here, right? Okay, good. So whenever you have your Xcode already, you can customize it, and I can tell you it is going to be really fun. And I can also show you other students. Yeah, so no Flutter. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. So I usually don't use it, but you probably want to know, yes, there are some that you can use. I can tell you some the Saturday group, right? So they are doing something. So they made this welcome page here in the first class, right? Okay. So then they are 10th grade and 8th grade. So therefore, definitely you can do it as well. As you can see, the code is here. Okay, good. All right. There we go. So yeah, this is the stuff. So I'm going to forward the code to you. And right here, this is your folders here. All right, okay. Okay, so since you don't have the Xcode now, I guess there's something else you can use is a playground Swift. Well, you can definitely, well, um, practice something over here, maybe like online. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can use the Swift online compiler to compile something. All right. Okay, so for instance, like you can make a class here, right? Class A, and then that and a var something, right? Var A could be a string, right? Okay, and then var B, I guess this is going to be uppercase A, right? And then this one's going to be a string as well, and then you can initialize it. But this is a too boring, right? So you have to do it separately, right? String, okay, and then a self period A is A, right? And in Swift, you do not, you can or you can't, you couldn't. I mean, it's optional. That is a semicolon, right? You can put semicolon or you don't have to. And then you run the code is successful, right? And then you make a copy here. So like this is the object of A. It's going to be A parameters here, and then you can access it, and then I can do this, right? Okay, but right here, I do need to initialize, right? So there's a missing parameters A. And the one way to solve that is you can simply have empty, right? Empty initializer will solve that problem. But right here, this one is something wrong because you have to create a variables to hold the value here. And then now objects say yes. And then you print it out here and then you print A right here. It's going to be a nil because let A equals object of A. It is because, yeah, because there's no actual values here, right? Okay. And usually we probably turn that into nil, right? I guess I would just make it into optional, this one. And then that's this one to be this and A period name. A period A equals maybe hello, right? And then I have A here, type the string, have a member save. So A is, I think it's probably um A is a string and this is these. And I'll just maybe A, 2A, all right. So oh wait a sec. And I have A. Now I can access that. I'm going to assign some value here. And then let's see that. Okay. The value string has no AA. The print is, oh, maybe this is AA right here. A. Okay, period A. Wait a second. Okay, I have objects. So this is objects. Oh, okay. What? Okay, I can print this one with A here. Um, the string to any. I guess I can turn that into these. Oh, wait a second. This one is good. I can definitely do that. OBJA, I'm going to assign some value here firstly. So this is going to be maybe hello. All right, hello, right? And then still this one. And this is allowed, right? But this is okay. And then I can right here print obj period A. Still that. Force casting into a string here. Still that. Print initializer string no match color initializers here. Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, this online is, yeah, sometimes it's not working. Yes, but it's a good practice. It's good practice here. Okay, and you can also practice the for loop here. For I in 0, 2 dots. All right, 2 dots less than means not included, right? And then right here, and you print I, run this code, you have 0 all the way to 9 here. All right, okay. And what if you put the 3 dots? That's include 10. All right, okay, as you can see. So this is the difference between without less than and with 3 dots. So for this part, it's very like Python code. So the Python code, so you just use a range, right? And in Swift is simplified, is yes, more simplified. Yeah. All right. Okay, good. So let's see. Okay. All right. So I guess well, there's not too many things you can do today if you don't have a computer. But overall, I guess you understand the logic, right? Like the overall is a building mobile app. You need algorithm, right? Do you agree? Right? Okay. And you need what?
You need Xcode, and then you need like
Yes,
Mac thingy to get that. Is there
exactly.
like any other way to make apps for Apple?
No. There's a way, but I do not recommend. No. Yeah.
What is it?
It's
Isn't like
go ahead.
wait, but like is like wouldn't like if like what do people who like publish like actual like big apps use? Because like they can't
Xcode.
all be using Xcode.
Most likely it's Xcode. Other things it's like very it's I do not
Like
recommend.
how do they make like TikTok? Is that like Xcode?
It is
Like it
X
can't be. It
it
is?
it has to be Xcode, yes. Mm. Because Xcode is Apple's official IDE. There's no other authorized IDE. That's the only things you can use. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense?
Okay.
All right. So yeah, get your Xcode ready next time and review the code a bit quick. All right. So Saturday session, they have done second classes already.
Wait, isn't there like something called Swift? Like, didn't you say like you can use Swift?
Yeah. But what do you mean? Like other
Can you use
language?
Swift
It
to
has to be
program
Swift.
this stuff?
It has to be Swift. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, is there like a Swift IDE?
No, there's only Xcode. Yeah. That is why iOS is very exclusive. It's very exclusive, just like Harvard, Harvard University and Stanford University, right? They are exclusive and they want exclusive skills. Makes sense, right? Yeah. And I can tell you, so for instance, my old students, right, like the food bridge, right? Food bridge. Lawrence, right? I guess you remember Lawrence. Okay. Lawrence,
He uses a Mac, right?
yeah. So because he's my old student, right? So like 3 years. He started with Xcode and Swift, and he's a strong. He's very strong in programming stuff here, and he went solo by himself here. So this is the one example here.
Hi, I'm Lawrence, and I'm the creator of FoodBridge. Did you know that every year in the United States, more than 100 billion pounds, or nearly 40% of food, is wasted, while 34 million people, including 9 million children, face hunger? The food waste not only impacts the economy and is related to food insecurity, but also causes environmental issues, including climate change. This wasted food generates around 10% emissions of the greenhouse gases responsible for global warming. In order to solve food waste and food insecurity dilemma, I decided to create this app called FoodBridge. The The FoodBridge app is created via the iOS platform and is coded in Swift in order to connect users with extra food and users who need food. But why should people use FoodBridge? Well, based on my research, I found that although there are many public food assistance programs, there are still several obstacles for some food insecure populations in accessing them. First, not all individuals facing food insecurity are eligible for government nutrition programs because of income limit or place of residence. Second, the food pantry's operation schedules are not always convenient, especially for working families. Third, the paperwork required and the difficulty of getting to the food stamp office prohibits people from applying for the benefits. FoodBridge is dedicated to solving these issues while ensuring equitable access. Now let's log on to FoodBridge. So this is the app when you first open it. You can see the About Us page, the sign up page, and the login page. So let's try signing up with a new account. Let's say user 12345@gmail.com. Let's make the password 123 and 123. And since we're an individual, we're going to select individual and then hit submit. And we can see account successfully created. So once I create an account, it takes that data and stores it into the Firebase cloud database. And once I go to login and enter the email and password that I just created, 123, hit submit, then Firebase authenticates that and then allows us to log in. And upon logging in, we see that there are 3 tabs: browse, list, and account. In the browse, you can see all types of listings created by different users, and you can look through all of them. And in list, this is mainly for donors who have extra food they want to donate. And here you can say title, let's say corn, description, maybe we can say fresh cobs of corn. Item quantity, maybe we could say 20 cobs of corn, and then 10 pounds. And we could say 12345 Main Street, Oakland, California. And since maybe I might not have the corn by today, I will set that to Friday, November 3rd at say 5 p.m. And then we want that to end a week from that Friday on November 10th at the same time, 5 p.m. And we can also fill in contact info. Let's just say 1237890 is our phone number. And then we can hit set listing image, which will give users a visual idea of what your listing of food looks like. And let's say create listing here. Great. And as we hit the create listing, we can see this handle create function for the button, and it takes all the fields, the data from the fields that we entered in here, and it stores all of that data into Firebase, which then when you go to browse and you update it, you can see the new listing that we just created. And in the browse, you can see this display rows function that uses get documents from Firebase, and it gets all that data, and then we add the subview of each listing to the view controller. Great, now let's check out our listing here. We have corn and all the information that we just filled out, as well as this apples listing that another user has created. Let's see, 1 bag of Fuji apples. And let's say there are a lot of listings and I was looking specifically for apples, then I could say apples, and boom, only apples shows up. And this search function is just by using .contains. And then finally, there's also the account tab where we can set profile picture like this, say this waterfall, look at that. And then also total listings, which is 1 currently because of the corn listings that I just created. And once we sign out, we're back to the main page. With FoodBridge, anyone can act as either a donor or a receiver, as long as they have internet access to either upload or review the listings. Through FoodBridge, surplus food finds its way to those who need it the most, effectively addressing both food waste and food insecurity issues.
All right. Okay, so this is it. All right, Alex, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So basically you start strong, you will be stronger in the future, right? Okay, so this is my philosophy. So you want to start with real deal, not a toy, all right? Okay, so yeah, so Xcode is a professional IDE. Okay, great. So I think I'm going to pause.